Oh, hello. Welcome to today's video. We're going to ask the question, Kill Team Hivestorm, is it worth the price? Yes. Yeah. So, here are all the prices, and these are all, I've sort of sourced these from all different people all around the web. But the way this works, retailers get sent spreadsheets in different areas of the world with the prices on in their local currency, and because of time zones, usually you get the US and Canadian ones come out first, and then later you see the euro, and then a little bit later you see the one in GBP. And it used to be that you could get these directly from the Games Workshop Trade website, because they actually posted the spreadsheet with the prices to a publicly available website. They've changed that now, so you have to wait for retailers to leak it, which it tends to happen, and they tend to get posted online. So I've waited for these to come up. Now, so in the United States, Hivestorm's going to cost you $230. In the EU, it will cost you, I should say in the Eurozone, it should cost you €180. In the UK, it will cost you 145 British pounds, and in Canada, it will cost you 280 Canadian dollars. Now, those are not, as always, exact exchange rates, and apologies, Australia and New Zealand, I don't have your prices yet. They'll be too high, don't worry. The equipment packs, the plus equipment pack will, in the US, set you back $45. In the Eurozone, they'll set you back €35. In the UK, £28, and in Canada, 55 Canadian dollars. The core rulebook, now, do bear in mind, there's a slight fudge here. The core rulebook is hardback. The rulebook included in Hivestorm is softback. Maybe you value that, right? And it also comes with tokens, and maybe you value the tokens. So the core rules are $60 US. In the Eurozone, they are €50. In the UK, they are £37.50. And in Canada, they are 75 Canadian dollars. Now, the approved ops card pack are weirdly missing from the retailer lists in the US and Canada. And if you watched Auspec's Tactics video this morning, he said that the card packs, along with the faction data card packs, were going to be online only, which I thought was really weird. I actually think it's more likely that there's going to be, on Saturday, we see a little star and these products are delayed in the US and Canada. I think that's what's going to happen. We're just not going to get those things available to the US and Canada. But we do have them in Europe and the UK. So in the Eurozone, the approved ops pack will set you back €25, and in the UK it will set you back £20. So you've got there the prices for everything except for okay, we talk about the kill teams a little bit here first, just because it makes sense. So the kill teams, there are different tiers of kill team. So the cheapest kill teams are the Jaegers, the Brood Brothers, and the Void Scarred. I want to talk more about these on another slide, but if we just borrow that number for a minute, so the Jaegers, the Brood Brothers, and the Void Scarred are coming in at $65 US, €55, £42.50, and 80 Canadian dollars. Now, that's the cheapest of all the teams. And don't worry, I'm going to talk more about the teams in a minute or two. If we assume that when Vespid and Tempestus Aquilons release, they release at that cheapest price point, which I don't think is a given. Actually, I think if you look at the slide, they could easily release at the Commando's price point. But if the Tempestus Aquilons and the Vespid release at the first price point there, that means that if you buy the Hivestorm box in the Eurozone and you add everything up, they are paying you €40 to take away the terrain set. That's how big the saving is, right? They are paying, and I'm even reading this. I'm sure this is going to be wrong, and I'm sure that this can't be right. But if you add up the equipment, the core rules, the approved ops pack, and two sets of kill teams at €55 a kill team, they are paying you €40 to take away the terrain, and the same set for the UK. They are paying you £27 to take away the terrain, and the saving might be even better because, like I say, I think there's a fair chance that when they release eventually, the Vespid or the Aquilons come out at the Commandos price point. I can't really understand why the Commandos are more expensive than the Jaegers, the Brood Brothers, and the Void Scarred. But they are. Yeah, so that's really, really interesting. So it does make the Hivestorm box, partially only by dint of GW making everything else so damn expensive, but it does make the Hivestorm box a really good deal. Like 145, if you remember my last video, I was estimating all kinds of price ranges. 145 is right down the bottom. Like, I'm really happy with that price, to be fair. Really happy with 145. So the discount league box, I think, is quite extreme. Even when you assume the 2 new kill teams are in the cheapest bucket. So, should you buy Hivestorm? I mean, probably, but let's go through it. So, do you play Kill Team at home? If you play Kill Team at home, you want the new kill zone, so you should just buy Hivestorm. It's really that simple. You're going to get use out of the book, the cards, the essentials pack, and the terrain. It's fine, you buy Hivestorm. Do you want to own both the teams? Even if you don't play at home, do you want to own both the teams? If you do, you should probably buy Hivestorm. Right, if you want both the teams. You know, because you've got to remember that terrain, you're getting the terrain for minus £27. Was it 27? Minus £27. So then, if you sell the terrain for a tenner, you're £37 in profit, right? And you probably get more than a tenner for it. So, if you want to own both the teams, you should probably buy Hivestorm. Do you only want one of the teams? So you don't want the terrain, you only want one of the teams. You get into the sort of it's neither here nor there category. Can you wait 3 months? If you can comfortably wait 3 months, then probably you don't need to buy Hivestorm. If you want one of the teams and you value getting it right now, then it's probably still, even though you're only wanting one team and you've got one team and one box terrain that you don't actually want, it's still probably worth it to buy Hivestorm. So then we going down the other path where we don't actually want any of the plastic, really. You're going to ask yourself, are you willing to buy digital rules? If you're willing to use digital rules, some people are absolutely not willing to use digital rules. So if you're not willing to use digital rules, you probably should buy a core book, the approved ops cards, and the accessory pack. Consider eBay, right? Either, to pick up those individual items, or do you know what worked out cheaper for me when I wanted, because I wanted the Age of Sigmar box, and I wanted the rules and the terrain, and none of the miniatures. I literally bought Vermintide and sold all the Skaven and all the Stormcast and made, I think, a small profit, right? So it may even if you just want the core book, the approved ops cards, and the accessory pack, if you're willing to do the work of listing out the 2 teams and the terrain on eBay, if you can get it from Element for 20% off, buy Hivestorm. Then you'll probably end up with the core book, the approved ops cards, and the accessory pack for free. Buy Hivestorm, seriously. If you're willing to use digital rules for the book and the cards, then you really only need an accessory pack, and at that point, the accessory pack, I think, is the bare minimum item that everybody's going to need, because you're going to want that heavy barricade, that movable barricade, that pair of ladders, the razor wire. You're going to really want those, so that's the minimum I think that anybody would want. And I think at the point you just want the accessories, then I guess buy the accessories. But then, because saying buy Hivestorm and then eBay everything except the accessories is a bit of a faff. If you just want the book, if you're willing to use the digital rules for the book but not the cards, because you like the ability to have the cards and put them into little piles, but the reference book, that can be on your phone, that can be a PDF. Then buy the approved ops card pack and the accessory pack. I would say if you're after the approved ops cards and the accessories, check eBay for people who are splitting the box. But short story long is, you have to do a lot to convince me that you shouldn't be buying Hivestorm. It's that much of a deal compared to all the different things. But maybe that's just me, maybe I'm a GW whale. Let me know in the comments if you're absolutely not buying Hivestorm, and I'd love to hear your rationale. I think it's a great product at a great price. Speaking of things I don't think are great products and great prices, let's look at all the teams they've brought out. Oh gosh. So there are some price rises here, based on what they used to cost. So we've got 4 buckets for the teams. Jaeger's, Brood Brothers, and Voidsguard, like I said before, are coming out at $65 US, €55. £42.50 or 80 Canadian dollars. And I don't know how he knows this, but Auspex Tactics is reporting that the Brood Brothers Kill Team box does not actually contain the Brood Coven sprue. So your big Patriarch, your Primus, your Psyker, what's he called? Magus, that's the one. Don't get that. Technically a playable team, but it'll be rubbish. Absolute bobbins. Like, you want your special guys, and you don't even get your little gribbly objective scoring guys either. So yeah, that's just upsetting. Commandos for some reason are more expensive. So there's a $5 Commandos tax, as far as I can tell. So $70 for the Commandos, €55 the same. Is that a typo? Did I get that right? So they're the same price in the Eurozone? I feel like I need to double check that, but that's what I've written down here, so it must be true. £44 up from $42.50 and 85 Canadian dollars. Commandos just cheaper in Eurozone. I don't know. It's the Spanish. They must all love Commandos so much, and they wrote to Games Workshop and said, Games Workshop, we need you to hold down the price of Commandos for us. I don't know. Why Commando? Why, can anyone guess why? I can see it for a lot of the other things. Why are Commandos more expensive than Jaeger's Void Guard? I don't know. So the Nemesis Claw and the Blooded are more expensive again. I understand why. The Nemesis Claw is 10 Space Marines. They've got to retain that value for, like, otherwise they get people buying the Nemesis Claw box instead of buying like Chaos Space Marines for 40k and just going, yeah, it's cheaper and there's a free Nemesis, there's a free Night Lord sprue. So it's going to be the Blooded. You do in the Blooded set get the Ogren and the Traitor Commissar. They haven't taken that out, so that's going to be $75 US, €60, £46. Or $90 Canadian. And then weirdly at the top end is Mandrakes and Scouts. Now I assume these have fallen victim of basically being something in 40k that they want to sell in a 5-man box, but they're selling you 2 5-man boxes together for 10 men, and they don't want to give you too deep a discount on it. Like, because if Mandrakes and Scouts were a 40k release, you know that they will be a 5-man box, right? And it will be one of those really annoyingly expensive boxes, like Howling Banshees, where you get 5 models for a lot of money, right? So I imagine this is going to be the same place that the Striking Scorpions go when they get released into this weird 2 5-man boxes bucket, right? So that's $80 US, €62.50, £47.50, or 95 Canadian, which I think like still represents quite a deal compared to like Howling Banshees, but it's still quite a lot. It's one of those things where it's like, is it a lot? Is it not a lot? Is my idea of value being totally screwed by Games Workshop? Potentially. And then the data cards. The data cards are really sad. So again, in the US, no prices. In Canada, no prices. These seem to be likely to be delayed, I would say, in the US and Canada. €24 or £19. Now, oh my God. At £19, it's like, I'm not going to buy. I just really hope that the app that they're going to do for the teams is good enough to not make me want to get the data cards. I really want them to do this week a preview article about this app. I really want to know. If it is as good as the 40k app is, I won't feel the need to get data cards. But I want it to have like the teams, and then a way to pick the operatives that are in my team and filter the view. So I'm just seeing the operatives I've actually got on my game for that game. I want to have a way to pick my equipment and have that like shown, right? And I want to have reminder text for all of my ploys and strategy and strategic and 5 ploys. Because if it doesn't have all those things, like, I've been playing with the cards for the last season of Kill Team for my Nemesis Claw, and they make the game so much better. And so the digital app isn't that good. £19 card packets for I really don't want to pay the card tax. It's a lot of money, and a lot of people have been blindsided by this. I kind of knew this was coming because I almost bought the Warriors of Chaos cards for Old World, and they were like £20. I'm like, I'm just not paying £20 for a deck of cards. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And it's going to make changing between teams feel prohibitively expensive if every time you want to pick up a new team, you also feel the need to pick up a £19 card pack. So I really hope the app is good. Yeah, that's basically it. It's too expensive. And they're not, if they don't sell them, they'll take away from that. Oh, nobody likes cards. Nobody likes cards at the price point that you can deliver them. GW, like, what? Let me know in the comments if you're like a mad lad going to go out and buy cards for all your teams and spend like hundreds of pounds on paper. I can't see it. What we don't have prices for is the Better Decima or Into the Dark. They do genuinely look like they're going to be online only. I do think you'll need the approved ops cards. I don't mind paying for those because you need one set to make the game run. But the data card, I'm really hoping we get away without the data cards. Really, really, really. Final thoughts. That's it. A shortish one today. Please do, if you're pre-ordering, remember that you can use my Element Games link. It's in the description. You save 20% and I get 5% back as well. Has the reveal of the prices changed your plans? I know it's when that first video comes out, it's easy to get really excited and be like, I'm buying this, I'm buying that, I'm buying this, I'm buying that. They haven't changed what I plan to buy, but they make me apprehensive now about like ever having to buy the cards and feeling like I need them because I don't want to pay £19 for it. I don't want to. But Hivestorm itself as a product, I think Hivestorm as a product is coming in at a great price. I think it's going to be really popular. I think people are going to struggle to get hold of it. I'm a little bit apprehensive about actually managing to secure a copy of Hivestorm, right? But I will be there. It's my daughter's birthday party on Saturday. Loads of people are coming down, and I'm like, told my parents, I'll pick you up because they're staying at the local premiere. I'll pick you up at the local premiere at half time. I'm going to be at the computer. I'm going to pencil that. Even if I've got people come around already early and they're like, can I have a cup of tea? I'm gasping. I'll be like, no, I've got to barricade myself in my office and pre-order Hivestorm. That's what that half an hour of that Saturday is for. None of this, I'll pick it up if I can when I get in from this pre-existing thing. Cancel everything. Pre-order Warhammer. Otherwise, don't come online and complain that you couldn't get it, right? That's just how it goes. Like, be aware. Like, if you decide to prioritise something else in your life at that time, then you've chosen that. That's what you've chosen. That's what you have to do. And if you want to hate the company and be like, I shouldn't have to, fine. But loads of other things in the nerd sphere and beyond. I mean, look at fashion, right? I had a kid who, like, lost his... This was years ago in one of my computer science lessons. Lost his marbles because he was trying to, like, refresh continually and buy something. Do you remember when Supreme was a big clothing brand and he was trying to buy some Supreme trainers or something? And I was like, you're off task, I'll just lock your computer. And he went absolutely bananas, right? So it's not just, it's loads of nerd hobbies like this. It's just the way of things. If you want the thing, you have to buy the thing. It's annoying, but it's not just Games Workshop doing it in a vacuum, right? Anyway, if you enjoyed the video and learned something, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing word of mouth. Tell your friends, come and watch Tabletop Impulse. He's this great random guy that needs to put more effort into his slides, probably. But a massive thank you to all my subscribers and supporters, and an especially massive thank you to all of my members, the people who subscribe to the channel right here on YouTube by pressing the membership button and actually send me every month a little bit of their own money just to make it feel worthwhile and maybe to pay for a few card packs. Who knows? Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I did say I would do an Eldar video based on the Eldar preview. It's not going to be tomorrow. Zimbad is coming around tomorrow. We're going to play some Kill Team. We're going to play some Kill Team from the current edition of Kill Team. So maybe it's going to be on Wednesday. No, Wednesday's live stream. So maybe there's going to be an Eldar video on Thursday? Maybe I'll get it up on Tuesday after Zimbad goes home. I don't quite know. Alright, I'll see you then. Have a good one. Cheery, 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 cheery. Bye. Bye, 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 goodbye.